Hey everybody, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 174. I'm Leland, and thank you guys for joining me. Film review I'm doing for you guys today, Surrogates. I went and saw this new movie with Bruce Willis. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the hairpiece, you probably know about it. This movie, directed by Jonathan Mostow, the guy that directed U-571, Terminator 3. Not a bad director. This movie stars Bruce Willis, who we all know and love. Fifth Element, anybody? I fucking love that movie. Radha Mitchell from Woody Allen's Melinda and Melinda. She's the star of that. I think she's a great actress. Rosamund Pike, Boris Kodjoe, Ving Rhames. Pretty solid cast. I think that's a cast of some pretty talented actors. This movie is set in a dystopian future where people, for the most part, spend all of their time in the bedroom hooked up to machines so they can experience life through a robotic surrogate. So basically, no one dies. You can go to parties, you can do drugs, you can do whatever you want because it's not your actual body. And basically, Bruce Willis plays this detective. It turns out that people can get killed while they're hooked up to their surrogate robots. And Bruce Willis is going to get to the bottom of it like he always does. I'll say, I don't think Surrogates is the worst movie of the year. It's not the best movie of the year. I think it's a pretty serviceable sci-fi thriller that I don't think breaks any new ground. Recently we had the Neville Dean Taylor film, The Gamer, and now we have Surrogates. Two films I think are pretty similar. And I ended up liking Gamer a lot more because for all of its shortcomings, I thought Gamer had a lot of attitude and it was different, and I just really enjoyed the vibe of that movie. Surrogates is much more of the PG-13 action film that Gamer easily could have been. There's a lot in Surrogates that I just wish they would delve into more. I think the movie really ends up going for explosions and action sequences. There's some pretty clunky, limp dialogue. I wanted them to do more. And what I mean by that is there was one line in the movie where they're showing a commercial for these surrogates, and it's surrogates for children. And apparently people under the age of 18 can't use surrogates. And I was like, that's a really interesting idea, how children play into this equation, because it would clearly make sense that these people would want children to have surrogate robots so children aren't getting killed. It seems like a great idea. But they really don't do anything except for say that one part of the fact that people under the age of 18 can't use them. There's interesting ideas there that I think they could have used. Also, out of nowhere during the middle of the movie, there's a great foot chase, but Bruce Willis suddenly turns into, he's like a character out of that video game Crackdown on Xbox 360 where he's jumping like 30 feet in the air. I didn't quite understand. Do all of them have that? Was it just Bruce Willis because he's a police officer? Does he have this ability? There's just a lot of really great things in this movie that I think they allude to, but they never really deal with. And I think it would have easily elevated above being a pretty by-the-numbers thriller. Also, the ending of this movie, there's twists, but I didn't really think they were twists because I really wasn't invested in any of the characters. I really didn't care about the stakes that much, and ultimately, the end of this movie is an old white guy describing his plot to Bruce Willis, exactly why he did it, and it's one of the laziest film conventions. I just really can't stand it. Even in Star Trek, when Leonard Nimoy was doing it, I was pretty pissed that someone was just sitting there describing everything that happened in the movie. Bruce Willis, good actor. I think Ving Rhames is fine in this movie. There really isn't that much that's really terrible about it, but it's just by the numbers. I thought Radha Mitchell did a pretty good job. I do like that all of the surrogates in this movie, they're made to look kind of artificial. They have this really soft, kind of airbrushed look to it. They kind of look like those John Benet Ramsey glamour photos. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone looks really soft. And also, I wasn't sure if some of the performances in this movie were acting robotic because they were robots, because the Bruce Willis robot, which has the awesome hairpiece, didn't act robotic. The Radha Mitchell character didn't act robotic. And some people did, some people didn't. There's a lot to work with here, and I think they do a good job of making a serviceable thriller, but there's just so much meat to this that they don't even get into that I couldn't help but feel a little let down. I say if you're going to watch a kind of serviceable by-the-numbers sci-fi thriller, check out Gamer, because that movie had a ton of attitude, and I think it was a lot more fun than Gamer. I give Gamer a 2 out of 5. I love Bruce Willis, but I think in a genre like this, there's just so many great films that you could check out. You know, Blade Runner off the top of my head is probably one of the best one. Check out the original Battlestar Galactica series or the remake, or even just check out The Fifth Element, which I don't think is a great sci-fi film, but definitely better than Surrogates. If you like this review, make sure to give me some star ratings, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.